We're here today to celebrate the day that Ian met the love of his life. And for Ian, that was 15 years ago when he met me. For those that don't know, my name is Vinay. I met Ian in middle school. We went to high school together. We were even roommates in college. So it's safe to say that I've seen Ian grow a lot, and I mean a lot. He's always been a pretty good kid, but he also has a rambunctious side. I remember Mrs. Hurst would call it rampaging whenever Ian would hang out with his friends on Friday nights. During these rampages, we would sneak into football games, trying to get into school dances, and a lot of times we were pretty successful. We would try to talk to girls, try to get them to go on dates with us, and we were not very successful. Ian liked to spin a lot of tall tales back in the day, just to innocently mess with people. Oftentimes, these tall tales were for the betterment of his friends. I remember my first date ever. It was a group date, and Ian came for moral support. I was running late, obviously, and Ian told my date that I had stopped on the freeway because I spotted a box of kittens stranded in the middle of a busy highway. He spoke of my heroic acts, traversing many lanes of busy freeways to save these kittens. And the funny thing is, it actually worked. She thought I was very sweet. Ian has always been very hardworking and driven, but he didn't always have all the pieces together. In college, Ian had so many interviews for big positions, for school organizations, and meeting important people. And even though he was on top of school, this man did not know how to tie a tie. For 3 full years in college, I tied his tie every time he needed to. I eventually showed him that he could keep his tie knotted when he was taking it on and off, so I didn't have to do it for him every time. And honestly, this whole time leading up to the wedding today, I thought I was going to have to tie 2 ties today. But any day, one day, I remember he frantically tried or called me, saying that he had recently washed his tie and it was unknotted and he needed me to tie it. So I ran 2 miles up the UCLA hills in the summer heat in between classes to get back to our dorm so that I could tie his tie. Ian pulled out his tie from his closet, and guess what? It was perfectly tied. Ian totally blanked, and he actually never washed his tie. But Ian has grown so much from the good old days. He's a successful lawyer, he's a wonderful son and brother, and he can, in fact, tie his own tie now. But the most significant growth I've seen in Ian was after he met Shannon. And I'd like to think that I had a part in that, but we all know it was 100% Shannon. Shannon, I can't tell you how happy I am that Ian has met you. If I'm being honest, both me and Ian thought he was going to be single for the rest of his life before he met you. Ian's so lucky to have found a strong, motivating woman to keep pushing him, to keep growing. Ian, I love you. I'm proud of the man you have grown into, and I'm proud to call you my friend. So here's the growth. To the growth of Ian after all of these years, and to the growth of Ian and Shannon as lifelong partners. Cheers.
You guys killed it.